Former President Donald J. Trump was indicted again for the fourth time, but this time he was booked into a Fulton County jail. The mugshots are now available. Right here in the district, President Joe Biden Volunteer Service Awards, we had 26 people in the community who were awarded the Presidential Service Award. The Palm Beach North Chamber of Commerce had a fireside chat with our school superintendent, Mike Burke, who discussed some of the issues that these schools will be facing in this new upcoming school year. That and the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation had a trip to Lion Country Safari. We're going to get into all of that on this week's edition of the Powell Press. I'm State Senator Bobby Powell. Starting off on Tuesday, August 15th, it was a press conference on firefighter cancer decontamination at the Emergency Operations Center here in West Palm Beach. This held a grant awards presentation by the CFO of the state of Florida, CFO Jimmy Petronas, to award all of these fire stations throughout Palm Beach County, and some even in Broward, significant amounts of money for decontamination and firefighter cancer prevention here in the state of Florida. On August 16th, the Palm Beach North Chamber of Commerce held its back to school breakfast. At this breakfast, the school superintendent, Mike Burke, had the opportunity to speak to the people of Palm Beach County and businesses related to school being back in session. Of course, one of the things he talked about was the fact that there is a bus driver shortage and the opportunity for individuals to receive incentives to become bus drivers here in the state of Florida, here in Palm Beach County, as well as some of the new restrictions that have been placed on schools. What I found interesting is that the superintendent indicated that here in Palm Beach County, although there's been a lot of rhetoric, Palm Beach County Schools has done a thorough job and we have not banned any books in Palm Beach County schools. Later that evening, I had the opportunity with my team to do a legislative update in the town of Hypoluxo. It was our first visit to Hypoluxo. Thank you, Mayor Michael Brown, for taking us on a tour of this wonderful facility. This town, of course, is known as the Barefooted Mailman Town. It was exciting to be able to present before this council, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the town of Hypoluxo on the next legislative session. On August 17th, I had the opportunity to speak with the Building Official Association of Palm Beach County. This meeting highlighted some of the issues that building and trades officials are facing here in the state of Florida, highlighting some of the bills that we saw in the legislature this year, including immigration, including some of those bills that will affect and impact local municipalities, but more so an opportunity to provide insight into the building officials and the industry as it stands today in terms of status. But later that evening, I had the opportunity to present another legislative update. I believe this is our final update to municipalities, at least, when we presented to the village of Palm Springs. What a wonderful night it was to present to the council of Palm Springs, to the mayor, as well as the town council, who gave us the opportunity to provide our slide presentation and to learn a little bit more about the village of Palm Springs. Now, that week culminated with a tour of Lion Country Safari. Of course, we had an opportunity as the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation to get a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on at Lion Country Safari. We see the animals and we see this entertainment value, but guess what? It's one of the largest preserves here in the state of Florida, especially here in this county. We got a chance to see lions, zebras, as well as a number of other exotic animals, including the chance to feed the giraffes. Thank you to the team at the Lion Country Safari for allowing the legislative delegation to get a behind-the-scenes look at this wonderful preserve that you're putting together for us here in Palm Beach County. On Saturday, August 19th, what a wonderful day it was. 26 individuals, some of the most well-known and giving people here in Palm Beach County, received the Presidential Service Award for volunteering and giving their time. One of the things I had to highlight an opportunity to remind people of is that service is the price that we pay for our time here on this earth. And for each of these individuals who have served our community, who continue to give back, we applaud you, we thank you, and we congratulate you, because your names have gone up to Washington, D.C. You have made history as a part of the Presidential Service Award, and I am so honored just to know many of you. It was a wonderful presentation. Congratulations again. And I look forward to running into you all in the community as you continue to do the work by putting your best foot forward. On Tuesday, August 27th, my team visited the Early Learning Coalition of Palm Beach County, who provides services to both families and children. And when I say children, I mean how better to do that than to work with the child care providers, including school readiness, child care services, enrollment in voluntary pre-kindergarten, VPK, and access to numerous early education benefits. It's the early childhood education that sets children apart and allows them the opportunity to compete when it's time to go to college, graduate from college, and even to go into the workforce. My team and I also had an opportunity to go down to Lantana for the grand opening of the newest Home Depot store. I had a chance to stand there with County Commissioner Mac Bernard, as well as members of the Lantana Chamber of Commerce, for this economic engine that goes into Lantana. What a sight it was. What an amazing, amazing sight. We saw bands. We saw vendors giving away popcorn. We also saw just the camaraderie of the community as the workers and the community came together to celebrate this amazing grand opening of this Home Depot store. Listen, I'm looking forward to going and shopping there in Lantana at the Home Depot that you all recently opened. On that same night, I had the opportunity to come back to Roosevelt Middle School for a town hall meeting with the superintendent of schools, Mr. Mike Burke, our school board member, Edwin Ferguson, and Mr. Joe Sanchez, the director of facilities for the Palm Beach County School District, to talk about the reopening or the revisioning of the old historic Roosevelt Community High School. Members of the community who are part of the old Roosevelt and alumni came out in droves to discuss, to see this historic opportunity to restore this great legacy back in our community and to enrich our history. Of course, it's built on two phases. The first phase being the community center as well as the educational component, and the second phase including in establishing the reopening of a museum to hold that history. Remember, history tells us who we are and what we are, but definitely who we still must be and where we still must go. And this is putting us right on the right track. Many of the members of the community enjoyed it, but they also say there's more to do, and they're thankful for where we are now. Thank you to School Board Member Ferguson, as well as the community, for this enlightening event. On Thursday, August 24th, I joined the Mosaic group here in West Palm Beach for an enlightening event, as well as Stephen Benjamin, who's the senior advisor to President Joe Biden and a former mayor, the first African-American mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, shared with us his insights on the community, his insights on growth, development, and leadership, as well as the things that he advises the president on. It was a wonderful opportunity as we celebrated Black Business Month, Small Black Business Month here in the state of Florida, but more so here in Palm Beach County. Mr. Benjamin, or the Honorable Stephen Benjamin, thank you for your service to the community and for your commitment to excellence for everyone who comes in contact with you. Thank you also to Mosaic Group and Anne-Marie Sorrell for creating this wonderful opportunity. And then there's news that you can use. Of course, I already mentioned President Joe Biden earlier, but what about former President Donald Trump? Well, Donald Trump was indicted for the fourth time. This time it was in Georgia. Now in Georgia, former President Trump had to have a mugshot taken. Former President Donald J. Trump was booked at the Fulton County Jail on Thursday night on the state charges that he conspired to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. President Trump is facing charges in 4 separate criminal cases and more than 90 criminal charges. But this is the first time that he has had his mugshot taken, and it is historic for this nation to have a former president to have a mugshot. With that being said, of course, I am State Senator Bobby Powell Jr. representing Senate District 24 here in Palm Beach County. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which is what you're watching right now, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all other forms of social media. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember this, a life of service is a life that counts. And for Malcolm Summons, Diane Andre, and Michelle DeMarco. We'll see you on the next edition of the Powell Press.